Welcome y'all to the Reality or Not podcast with your boy DJ Reality and your boy Brian Clancy from Nothing New Under the Sun. How you doing, Brian?
Man, I'm blessed and impressed with the life God gave me. What about yourself?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm getting ready. I got a race in a couple hours. I'm gonna go and get muddy in this Tough Mudder race. But other than that, man, I'm doing pretty good. I don't know why I signed up for some of this stuff, but I just keep going and do it as I can, man.
You're a guy that like to test your limits.
Hey, look, I'm gonna hurt if I sit down, but I'm gonna hurt if I get out and do it. I just be like, fuck it, shit. I'd rather hurt while I'm moving around. I don't want to be at that point where my body's not functional. I'm bedridden or whatever, and I see people our same age that they ain't got it, man.
I see people our same age don't look good. Like I seen a dude that graduated in 2008, and I was like, damn, dog, you look older than me. Like,
yeah. Nah, it's getting bad, man. So I'm always gonna try to stay as active as possible. Like I said, I ain't gotta be I gotta have a six pack or anything like that. But shit, I'm gonna be out there where, I was at the gym last week, and my nephews, the twins, the 7-year-olds, man. I had called them on FaceTime. I was like, hey, what's going on with y'all? They was like, oh, no, Kashad, we just chilling, blah, blah, blah. I was like, hey, y'all want to do some push-ups? Now, when I do my push-ups, I usually do my push-ups in sets, right? So I'll do 20 at once or 15 at once, but I try to always get up to 100. So I was like, hey, let's do, I do the diamond ones too, which is a little bit harder. So I do those at 15, and then I do, and that's like this. With my hands in front of my chest.
In the middle, yeah.
Yeah, and then, I'll just do them regular. Yeah. So I'm doing them. So they was like, yeah, let's do them. So we get down. I get 20, 25 in of the, I can't let them outshine me. So I was like, well, let's do 25, So I get to about 18. I'm like, woo, but I'm doing them, right? But then, my old overzealous ass, I was like, hey, y'all want to do some more? And, like I said, I do them in sets. I do 20, 25, and then, or 15 to 20, and then I'll go and do something else within the gym, and then I'll come back to them, and then so I ain't got to do them all at once. It's like, yeah, let's do them. I was like, so I'm not used to doing them back to back, So I was like, all right, well, let's go ahead and do it. So we ended up doing 100, man, and it was.
Oh, y'all did 100 for 25 4 times?
No, it was essentially, yeah, because we it was a struggle because I'm not used to doing them back to back. I'm used to splitting them up and then come back to them, and then now I'm doing them, and I do them in between each of the lifting or whatever I'm doing. But yeah, it was tough, and they sitting up there like, I was like, okay, but I called Tone about it. I was like, man, they own it, man. He's like, yeah, man, we get down and do them like all the time. I was like, man, that's some good stuff, man. Had them boys like I said, they only 7 years old, but they of course they ain't doing them correct, So but they trying to do them. So just them, just them having that mentality, just to get out, early. Versus, because we didn't have nobody that was pushing us, and that's one of the topics too, the game is sold to not be told, but it's just one of them things, like having somebody that can, that they can see like, oh, well, Uncle Sean works out, or Uncle Sean does this, or I can DJ, I can get certifications, I can learn, I'm like, I see somebody that's actually doing it and can show me the way, versus nobody shoot, we was out there, man. We as youngins,
making this stuff up as it go, right?
Bro, like, we didn't know what we was doing. We was just following the whole school system of, hey, as long as we graduate from high school and we can maybe go to college or whatever, we just make some good money, but it was never told to us or shown to us that, okay, this is how you could get money if this is how you're thinking, versus, just get out there and get a job and work for 20 years or however many years and then retire, and of course, evolution happens where that's not even a thing anymore for working for a particular company and stuff like that. You can't be like, well, yeah, I'm gonna work for this company for 20 years. Now you can have the attitude or the energy to believe that, or to be motivated to do that, but that's just not logical. Because for one, within engineering or within tech, you got to move around to get the bag. You can't just, because no company's going to promote, like they're hiring you for a service. And when they're hiring you
You kind of get
to,
typecast. You
They're
get
not,
typecast, and then you get
Go
at
ahead.
that point where you be like, you do more, thinking that you'll get more responsibility, more pay, and you just get more responsibility. So then you take
Yes.
that
And
move on.
no more labels, no title changes. Just, oh man, he's doing what he's supposed to do. I'm like, nah, pay me. give me my money, give me my title. But I've learned even within our career too, and I try to express that or tell people like, hey, look, if you've done something, take that title. Because when you look at it from like, you're like, oh, well, I'm doing project management stuff, but my title is business analyst or my title is specialist or something like that. I was like, no, put down that you was a PM. If you did a project manager, if you've done those things, then that's your title. Only thing that, and we get so scary and stuff like that of saying what we do rather than, as an example, right? When they check like your job history and stuff like that, and I know we bounce around a little bit, but when they check your job history, they're checking to see, did you work for that company? And they're checking to see how long did you work for that company? So if you work within that company and you did all of these things, say those things on your resume, and hell, I mean, as long as you can talk to them, that's all that matters. I mean, that's a piece of the game that I didn't know until I was like, oh, they just called to check, like, when did you start? When did you finish?
Yeah,
They can't
ask about your responsibilities because
they can't ask about
that's
anything.
my
It's against the law.
Yeah.
Like they can't ask were you a good employee, a bad employee, or anything like that.
They can ask you if you recommend would you recommend them being hired.
No. I'm talking about when they're confirming your status. Like if they're doing a background check, they can't do none of that. Now, if they ask for references and stuff like that, now you get your references. Yes, those are the people that can say, well, what type of employee were you, blah, 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 blah. But if they're calling to say, did Sean work at IBM? Did Sean work at Construct Connect? Like, did I work at these places? They can't ask the HR because they don't know anyway. And the tough part about that is they can't give information. All they can do is tell what's on your file. They can't say, well, this is a good person or a bad person. That's why it's against the law. Like, because they can't really confirm what you did or what you didn't do, with the exception of what's written on there.
But I kind of want to go back to the original part, like you with the twins.
Mm-hmm.
For one, there is this point where they can actually reach you and see you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about how powerful that is, because a lot of times I only got to see that on TV. I didn't get to see it in person or know somebody who moved like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a powerful thing that they have access to right now, immediately. Now, does that also put you in the point where, hey, like, since he's so accessible and so reachable, do I really trust what he say, or do I just say, hey, that's my uncle, like he do his thing? You know what I'm saying? Because I've got it both ways there. But then thinking about how we grew up and the difference between how we grew up and how these kids are growing up is that I think that generation before us was like, we not far from slavery. You know what I'm saying? Like, our generation before us was in the civil rights movement, right?
Yeah.
Like they were fighting for the right to be human and to pursue happiness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that kind of, with them, they created a bunch of stuff, like that generation. They created a bunch of stuff, and I think they just had overload to be like, look, work a job, live a good life, and prosper,
keep your head down.
Right? Yeah.
Don't disrupt. And I'm huge on that. As far as that disruption part, it's like, well, if this doesn't make sense for the business, let's change it. And we didn't have that voice. We didn't have that that space to do that. And a lot of people, in my opinion, are still afraid to do that just because you don't want to ruffle feathers or you don't want to, be out of a job. And now certain jobs are requiring that, because if you don't ruffle feathers, then you're almost replaceable. I mean, because
you are replaceable. And then I tell people all the time, doing like a lot of this stuff is done out of tradition. And it's again the tradition of the way that they've always did it. They've never had anybody push back on it, right? And then being like stepping out and being like, yo, you don't have to do it like that. Y'all just do it like that because y'all always done it like that. And creating a new ecosystem. But it's kind of scary because you out there on your own and they looking at you like, oh, you really gonna say this? You like, because we got these business practices that we make millions of dollars off of. That's cool, but keep doing the same thing and it don't make the same type of money. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta push the envelope. But like when you do that in a company, how do you monetize that? How, like I hear you saying add it to your resume, and like I like to quantify the things that I've done, and with money and things of that nature. But then I'm going past the point of being available and having this information and sharing this information. How do you share the information where you feel like it's most effective?
I try to be the example, but then I try to teach as well too. But I try not to over teach. And I say that as in, it's a difference between talking at people and talking to people. Now, some people, talking at people actually works. Or talking at them actually works. And it's just understanding the person or the group or individuals that you're talking to make sure that everybody's not the same, right? So you try to figure out people's learning or the way that people learn, and that's how you become effective rather than just doing it one way. I always, talk about my mom and stuff like that, and I feel like she's more of she leads by example. Might not be a good example, but she leads by example, and she leads by telling or just telling you what to do versus why is it like this and blah, blah. And I have to get out of that sometimes because we've talked about this before as far as I'm not huge on like having to explain everything to you within the why. And I think I get that from her, but sometimes I just feel like the why isn't like. One thing I've always had issues with is being asked a lot of questions on things that I see are obvious, right? It's like, well, I'm trying to think of why am I keto, right? Or why do I eat keto? It's like, well, health benefits, clean eating, the things that I feel like those types of questions are Googleable, like you can find that answer on, like, most people tend to, change their eating habits or change their health just because of, not change their health, but change things about them for the benefits of their health or benefits of, having high cholesterol or having anything that's going on with them. So when you change your eating habits, most likely it's the reason behind it can be more so involved with your health or involved with losing weight or involved with, I don't know, a competition, whatever your reasons behind you. But I feel like sometimes those reasons are more personal versus, well, why are you doing keto? Why you have to do this for so long? What do you have?
I'm gonna call you Mary J. Blige on that one because I was just watching some interviews with Mary J. Blige.
You just watched that video where, look, I am like, straight up Mary J. on that shit. Like Mary J. was like, why you asking no question? Yeah, but the difference between Mary is she showed up to be asked these questions. I'm not sure. Like I'm not here to answer all of your. I'm Mary J is literally showed up to the interview like I'm not answering your questions.
Yeah, but you answer questions about keto because of the lifestyle. Like when when you're gonna be at a spot and somebody gonna ask you about your lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
So
no. It depends. I'll give a prime example, right? So I got asked the other day, because I had lost like 6 pounds, and I had mentioned like I had lost 6 pounds, and within a week, and they were like, well, men lose weight faster than women, and I was like this isn't like, who am I in? I'm telling you something that. And it wasn't like an unhealthy 6 pounds. It was like I literally was working out. I did like 2 workouts a day and stuff, but I wasn't saying it to the point that you're my competition. I was just saying it as an accomplishment that I had got to, so like it automatically switched to, well, men lose weight faster than women. And I was like, well, what does that got to do with the accomplishment or the goal that I hit? And then it became a whole discussion of well, why do you think that you were able to lose weight so fast? I said the same thing. I was like, I worked out multiple times. I intermittent fast. I did all of these things. But then, and this is where I say when you explain in the game and they're unwilling to take what you're saying and they're kind of pivoting on questioning what you're doing, or even just saying something that's just stupid as fuck to me. It's like, I'm like, well, like the whole idea of saying men lose weight faster than women. I was like, break that down. I was talking to them, and this is from I'm trying to like explain to them, even if what they're saying has zero to do with what I just did, I'm explaining to them. I was like, okay, men lose weight faster than women. If I look at it from the same, I'm gonna flip it, right? Say women lose weight faster than men. I'm a man, right? So as a man, I'm like, oh, if women lose weight, it's a math thing. If women lose weight faster than men, I have to work harder to lose weight at the same pace that the woman does, just because it's harder for me, right? Like, isn't that just like kind of like?
So I'm gonna get back to the whole Mary J. Blige thing, and then I'm gonna.
No, nigga, I want to talk about this weight shit.
Because here's the thing, and I'm on the outside looking in, because she said men lose weight faster than men. That's a statement. Like, sometimes I think we answer questions that, because the statement that she threw out there was to me, if somebody would have told me that, I'm like, oh, so you kind of discount what I did. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just saying, hey, that's
good job.
Good job. You're trying to discount what I did. But then, am I taking it personal by she didn't ask a question, she made a statement. So whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no. Look, and I try to move on from it, but it's the annoying part that people are unwilling to, like. I wasn't saying, I lost weight, you're my competition.
Pat me on the back. Yeah. It's like, yo, this week I was out there working and I lost weight. But
I mean, if you say, hey, good job, or hey. Because if you're trying, because I feel like it's a psychological thing. It's like, well, it's almost like, well, I'm not losing weight because I can't lose it at the rate that he's losing it, and blah blah blah. And I was like, wait a minute, this ain't about you.
You're right. That's what I was just about to say. She made it about her when you were just making a statement about you and what you did this week, right? Yeah. So really, it was a thought in her mind, like, oh, this nigga lost 6 pounds, and now, like, I ain't losing 6 pounds in a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, she automatically and just said, like, she basically was talking under her breath, but wanted you to, but you called a body, right? And so to bring this back to the Mary thing, right? Mary was like, yo, like, she hated doing the press because they're asking her questions that don't really make sense. But then, like, she understands that she gets to dictate the terms of that. Like she
Yeah.
gets to dictate the term. Like, hey, like that's a question I've answered before, so y'all can go back. The real question you want to ask me is like, am I doing drugs again? You know what I'm saying? Like,
but listen, but look, with that point, say Mary J, right? And I'm like, we're gonna stay on the Mary J thing. It's just like she would be more uncomfortable because the thing is, like with press, right? You try to ask this, you try to be careful of the thing that you're asking because you don't want the interview to end. You don't like, so they're going to tend to ask her the same questions because they're trying to stay away from the other questions like that they really want to know. Like they're not going to ask, so what's going on with you and KC? Or they're not going to ask, are like, what types of drugs were you taking and are you still doing them? Like, because those types of questions, like Mary, I can't speak for Mary J, but those are the types of questions I feel like for famous people, they don't want to be asked, but they don't want to be asked the same thing that they've been asked before. And it's just like, yo, like you're better off answering. And that's what you have a publicist, you have all of these things in place. Like, you get better at answering questions that you've already been asked before. And that's media training. That's understanding like, okay, I'm gonna be asked this 10 times. You got to get comfortable with that because they're asking for their publication or whatever they're posting. Versus like, hey, look, you still doing coke or you still doing da. Look. Well, seeing that Mary J, right? Versus like, the other like, Mary J now, like man, Mary would damn near swing on you back then. You know what I'm saying? If you ask like the wrong question, because you saw it in her energy. But she, like, you know,
I don't necessarily think that's training, but I think it's like, and I like with you, I think you, like I said, with her asking you the question about making a statement about the situation, I think. Like you said, you took it as a shot. Like, yo, like,
she asked me, was I offended? I was like, no, I'm not offended. I was like, but you know, for somebody to say something that has zero to do.
She asked you that?
Because some people like to push buttons, and I'm okay with that. But I was like, wait a minute, why is it like? Was I offended? I was offended to the point of what I'm doing doesn't have anything to do with what the other person had going on. Like, I don't like if you say, hey, look, and I'll give another example. It was like, because I'm doing this health challenge, it was another woman that's within this health challenge. She lost 12 pounds. I lost 6. You know, so does that negate what you're saying as far as being able to, like, a woman losing? Like, no, we're different body types. She weighs more than me. She has more than me to lose, but you're not taking into account. Like, I'm not going to say a blanket statement to say, well, men lose weight faster than women, where this woman literally just lost 12 pounds and I lost 6 pounds. That's just, you know, of course there's exceptions to the rule, you know, but you know,
to the meat of the conversation, the reason why she asked you that, she didn't mean to offend you, or like, was because, again, like when she said that, I think you took it as a diss, right? You're like, yo, you trying to dim my accomplishments, bitch.
I didn't take it. Yes, no. I took it as I wasn't, because you know I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do. I took it as, why is that the first thing y'all run to in order to push away something that you're trying to accomplish? You know, so because I'm never gonna say, well, this person, white people go make more money than us for the rest of my life. Like, no, I'm going to try to get more money and try to figure out ways to get more money. I'm not gonna be like, well, that's just what it is. You know, like I can't accept not getting my bag, you know, as an example. Like, I'm like, no, like, well, I can be like, well, maybe I should just make this money, you know, because I'm never gonna be able to make what they can make.
I'm still making more money than most blacks.
Yeah, right. You know, and it's just funny when you think of it. I don't like people thinking in a box, you know. So I would say I was more offended by the thinking in a box rather than, you know, because like I said, I'm a lose whatever, and I'm gonna keep
let's
going.
go back. Let's go back to the game is to be sold, not told, right? Because I think this conversation was one of those
I'm giving you game, and you're telling me like, oh, this is
this is an example of what it was. Because your objective of telling her that you lost the 6 pounds was not to get into, hey, well, you're a woman, so the shit won't ever. Don't think that my skills transfer to you. It was to motivate her to say, hey, like, I ain't even gonna say motivate her, but let her know that, hey, this is possible.
Conversation.
This is possible. And but like, again, when you I don't know who the young lady was or the lady was, but when you talking to people and they're not ready to accept the game that you given, that's when sometimes you got to just be quiet and just be like, hey, you're not ready for this. Like, you're not ready
start doing that. I'm gonna start walking away. Look, and I already walk away from conversations. I'm like, I'll be in a circle of 5 or 6. I'm like, oh, all right, well, let me either, like not backpedal, but like slowly move away and then go over to the other conversation about Mario Kart or something. I don't know.
You got to start learning how to transfer. And like, I mean, because you've been in a situation where you're talking to a girl and it just don't make sense.
It doesn't resonate.
Yeah, it just, so now you got to pivot the conversation because, again, you asked me, are you talking to me about dumb stuff that you don't even know about? Like somebody telling me, hey, it don't matter how many credit cards you got as long as, you're not maxing one of them out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, that's dumb. But if that's what
I got to tell you about this other conversation. I'm going to keep, but I'll let you keep going. I'm going to tell you about this other conversation too.
Again, some people you got to let know that your time and that your energy is valuable, right? So now I'm learning that, and that took a lot of wisdom because I felt like I could reach everybody. I'm a great communicator. I communicate. I get to the root of the problem, and like you said, like sometimes even asking people questions to get to the root of the problem, like, and I just keep it on a financial tip, right? So this young lady wants a new car, but she has a car, and she has a nice car. It's a Tesla. It's a Model 3 Tesla. And I'm asking her, like, it's getting to the point where it's starting to be more of a drag than a bonus. I'm like, yo, how you owe money on this? So what's some of the ways you can get out of it, right? And she then tuned me out like, hey, nigga, I'm not thinking about adding another line item to my budget. Like she instead of her looking at the full picture of saying, hey, there's other ways. I mean, you have an asset, you can turn that asset, or you can there's multiple ways to
can leverage you can leverage what you have to be able to get something that you want to get or achieve.
If you don't want to have that conversation, that's cool. I can take it, do a little video, and then when you see it on TikTok, you can be like, "Oh shoot, I didn't know you was that into this and that." I was like, "Oh, so you see the TikTok video, and now all of a sudden,
oh my God, have a conversation?" Look, that annoys the hell out of me. Where we giving game, and like I said, you don't have to accept the game, but like I said, it comes from it's the messenger versus, and that's the problem I have with certain things. Like, oh well, I don't know, Jay-Z told you to do something. You be like, oh, Jay-Z said it, but then like I've been telling you this for whatever. And I mean, I like what you said earlier. It's like, what's your ways to be able to get your message across or be able to teach? And like I said, some people like to be told. Some people like to. There's different learning ways that people, or there's different teaching methods that you can have, trying to get something across to people. And that's just always the more difficult part. Is when you ask me a question, I'm gonna give you an answer, right? But I'm getting to the point where I have to make sure that I'm giving different answers to the question based off of the audience, you know. So I can't give Brian an answer and then give the twins an answer and voice it in the same way, you know. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I've like from the parenting perspective, my mom is going to tell the twins the same thing that she told me. But I'm like, they are still learning how to learn versus as an adult, you know. I mean, we're still learning as well too, but we understand where the messaging or the teaching is coming from versus like they're not fully getting it. So the difficult part for me is when you are an adult and you can't comprehend, but yet you are out here, you know. I mean, I'll talk to L, my nephew, and I'm like, well, are you really getting what I'm saying, the game that I'm trying to express to you? Versus, you know, like L is 29, you know, the 29-year-old nephew versus a 7-year-old, the 7-year-old twins, you know. Like, I always got to make sure that but then there's a blend of how I need to make sure that even if I'm, what do you say, explaining like a 4-year-old, it's like you literally have to do that now for people that are older for them to fully get it. And a lot of people don't learn unless it's directly impacting what they're currently doing. So
okay, so now I'm gonna take all that and digest it, because like even with your mom, like your mom gave you game when you was little, right? And you'd be like I remember her telling me like the whole telephone thing, like hello. Like always, basically, she was and
that's some bullshit, by the way.
this a lesson I'm gonna learn that I know.
I do that shit now, and I don't like it. I do that shit like if you don't say how are you, and I ask how are you, I damn near get offended. I'm like, wait a minute, I asked you how you doing. Why ain't you asking me how I'm doing? I get offended. I had to pull back and try not to get offended by that shit. And I was like, that directly attributed to my mom and shit. Like,
but okay, so those lessons that you hear as a kid, and you be like, you get an epiphany when you older. You be like, oh, that's what they was trying to tell me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go back to the Mary thing. Mary felt a way about interviews back in the day. She now knows that interviews are a way that she can cater her message out to people. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's not just her giving them something. She can get something out of it. So that's why she was on this press run, and that's why she's showing people, hey, look, I've learned. It took a tick in my head to get it. But I've learned, and I realized that certain messages people have to go and look for themselves when they're ready for it. So, like as we do this podcast, and they get these clips, and they be like, "Oh shoot, that's what that dude was talking about," and they basically validating it in their head when, hey, I've been telling you the whole time, but the message just doesn't like, and that's why I used to say, that's why I thought I was a great communicator, because I was like, yo, they get my message, but they hearing it, they just not getting it. Like you said, you talk to L, you like, look, like car, like you in a city where you can't get around unless you got a car, right? And you renting cars, like how does that make sense? And to him, it's like, yo, when I need it, it's on demand. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yo, but the cost for the on demand really don't add up.
Yeah, I like that, because when you can explain to somebody, like, I mean, you know, we've had this conversation. So I was like, wait, no car, no place to live. I was like, why are you there? You know, it's like, and I'm like, understand. I mean, I broke down.
Now, wait, right there. Yeah. Why are you there? He could have took that as like, oh, this dude don't think I can grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the same way,
it wasn't anything against him. I'm like,
no, it's like, but I'm saying, like, depending on the nature, because now you become, instead of the teacher, you become the ops, right? You know what I'm saying?
I was the ops at one point in time within that conversation, and that's. But you know what? I'm okay with that in a sense that, like, and I'm just speaking from, just imagine I'm just saying your situation, right? You in Muskegon. You don't have a foundation there, and you're just there. It's like, well, why? Like, if you say, hey, I want to achieve this, and this isn't against anything against the hometown, but it's like, can you achieve it there? If not, then you need to go to the next thing, because you're just there. You're just, like, you say, hey, can I come stay with you in Atlanta for a minute? I mean, I would have to think about it, but I'm like, oh no, I got you. Like, you cool. But it's one of the things, like, well, what are you doing there to build? It's like, you don't have a place to live. You don't have a vehicle. You don't have a job. It's like what are we doing
What's
here?
The point?
Like, like if you got one of them three, then I get it. You'd be like, oh well, I'm stuck in the lease. I wouldn't even put the car thing in it, but you'd be like, hey, I'm stuck in the lease. I can't get out of it until whatever time, or I have this job, so that's the only way that I'm generating income. But if you don't have, like, the car thing, it's like, well, if you ain't got no car, how are you getting to work? Like, logically, if you don't have this, you can't have, like,
these are fundamental blocks that build on top of each other, right?
Correct.
And so I understand what, like, being like in this nature with some, these young kids. I understand that they're like, yo, I'm trying something different. And, like, you don't understand what I'm doing because it's different than what you would ever do, right? I'm trying to, but we don't see the vision, and they can't.
Don't try it on my dime. That's all I say. Just, you can do whatever you want in life, right? Yeah. You can do whatever you want in life, just not on my dime, is what I say, or somebody else's dime. Like, hey, look, you can have all the vision that you want, but if you ain't got nothing behind you, like, you gotta have some form of money or some revenue source to be able to do any of these things that's coming up with. So
you can't be borrowing the money talking about I'm gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that part.
And then I gotta borrow my money back. It's like, nigga, like I don't know, like, okay, I don't want to pivot the conversation, but I kind of do. This is a quick pivot, and we can pivot right back. But why is it a thing I gotta ask you for my money back? Like, why do I have to, like, if I loan you money, why do I have to ask for my money back? I had someone at one point in time, they was like, hey, I'm dealing with this and blah, blah, blah. Hey, can I, I probably did too much, but it's okay. But because they were like, well, I'm just trying to get anything. And I was like, okay, well, I was like, what can help you to get you over that hump? And then I was like, okay, well, I was like, here's $200, because the thing is, like, well, I'm gonna give it back to you. When you give a clear time frame of when you go give me my shit back, that's when I'm like, okay, cool. If you say, hey, look, I probably won't have it for a while, I get you when I get back on my feet, blah, 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 cool. But I gave them like 50. And then they were like, and then I was like, well, how much do you need to get to the goal that you're trying to hit? And they was like, well, I'm trying to get to this number. So then I ended up giving them I gave them like another I gave them like 180 or something like that total, and I'm like, but I'm like, what my 180 at this point? Like, I still ain't got it to this day, and I'm like, and I'm asking you, like, okay, you said by Friday. No, they said by Friday. I didn't give them a deadline like you have to give it to me by then. But that was like on a Tuesday, and they was like, well, I'm gonna give a check on Friday. I got you, blah, blah, blah. And that was in March or damn February. And mind you, I wasn't even working at that time too. So of course, no, it was definitely in February, because I hadn't started where I was at right now. But I'm like, yo, I don't know if I ever told this story, but I had anyway. I'm gonna stay to the point. But yeah, it's fucked up when you got to ask for your money back, and it's like damn near offensive, or I feel like they're getting offended by me asking, or your deadline that you passed and you couldn't meet it. But
hey, that's kind of crazy, because and this is what I try to tell my son, like, because like I feel like this is real man training, actually real human training, right?
Mhm.
If you, the thing that separates a man from a boy is his word. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't do something, figure out how to make it right. And I don't think that people understand that. So if I say, "Hey, Sean, let me borrow this 50," and then like I don't really know when I can give back to you, but I definitely give back to you as soon as I get it. Right? I'm not checking for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, well,
Communication, bro.
Yeah, I'm not checking for it. But if you say you're gonna give it back to me on the first, then if you know you ain't got it on the first, if you know you're not gonna have it on this first, give me a call. And be like,
Communication.
hey, look, dog, I know I owe you money. And don't forget that you owe me money. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the
That
other
shit.
part
That's
that be
what pisses
crazy
me.
to me. Like,
Oh shit!
don't
I
forget that
forgot,
yeah,
motherfucker.
yeah. Because it's still people back in high school that I know still owe me $40. You know what I'm saying? Don't respect pride. You know what I'm saying? But Antonio Hendricks, you know what I'm saying? Like, but hey, that
Oh
investment
man.
was an investment. You know what I'm saying? But like again,
That was
being a
no
man of your
investment,
word or
nigga.
being a
That was a
person,
that was. What
being
would
a
you
person
call
of
it?
your word.
Oh, a
You just
bad
gotta
investment.
hey, it was a good investment if I don't have to ever talk to you about money again. You know what I'm
Look,
saying? Like
I like. I was gonna say it's a good investment. It's a good write off to know that I don't have to give that to you ever again in life.
yeah, you know you're not good on the books. You know what I'm saying? So like, hey, yeah, but again,
I like that.
you just think about people and the lessons they've been taught. Some of the people who haven't been taught the lessons that you learn,
Yeah.
and some of the people will never get the lessons that you learn because they never seeking that knowledge, right? And then like you feeding people knowledge that they're not seeking, sometimes it just get rolled to the back of their head. Now, like my daughter I had a conversation with my daughter, I think the other day, right? And I was I'm relaunching my website, and I was like, I need 3 words that describe me that I would give to that I don't that I'm comfortable giving to people to sell, just to sell me, right? And and she was telling me, she was like, Dad, I don't know if you know the people that you touch, and even in my generation, coaching and stuff, because they be like, yo, I learned this from my dad. I was just talking, and like I just seen some of her friends back when I was at home, and they was like, hey, coach, and whatever, and like some of them still be reading my statuses on Facebook because I said a status that I wrote a status that was a little raunchy in what I said. I didn't mean to write it like this because it was in my head and I missed a word, right? So and the crazy part about it is like, if she asked for a sucker and didn't get a lollipop, wait, if she asked for a sucker and you didn't give her a lollipop, no, wait, it was something, and I said it wrong. Basically, I was like,
it
I said it
sound,
wrong.
it doesn't sound like it was about to go well.
yeah. And I got screenshotted by my son friend. I was like, yo, like he's like, yo, what's going on with your dad?
Oh
but
man,
the influence that you have, you might not really, and I mean, I guess that's the reason why we're doing the podcast too, right? Because you
to be
you
a
never
voice
know
to let
what
people
somebody
see.
need to know until they get it, right?
Yeah.
Got the
If you suck on a sucker, then you're a lollipop, bitch.
I was like, it was something terrible. I can't even remember the saying now because it like you ever say, hey, dang, how do you spell something? And then now you can't spell it because somebody spelled it wrong as hell. And you're like, that ain't how you spell it. So like that's how I am with that subject. Because like I was like, yo, if she went on a date and was asking for a sucker, but asked for a lollipop, but got the wrong sucker. Like you paid for it. Like I was basically trying to say, don't be a sucker out here.
Look, hey, it was a woman that told me one time, said it was just within conversation within the circle. She had told me, she's like, yeah, she ain't doing no first date unless it costs $300. I was like, how did you get to this number? Like, what so it's just little things like I always find people, and this goes to your point of people learn things to do a certain way. So then when you're trying to show them game, when you're trying to explain to them, like, well, no, that's not. I've had dates where they can be, where it's a coffee or it's, I'm just saying in general, like, in the past that life, when you got to take yourself out of this box. And this is where, kind of going back to, coming full circle as far as like men lose weight faster than men. It's like, yo, when you think a certain way, then you'll never take yourself out of that space to be able to learn more. And I had to learn that. That's not anything that was taught to me direct. Like us coming from a smaller town, it's like, well, like as I mentioned before, like, hey, get this job. I don't know, work at Misco or wherever. Do that for however many years, and then retire and shit.
Have
like,
a nice car. And a wife and the kids, you know what I'm saying? Like that's I ain't gonna say sucker shit, but that's stuff that really ain't material, that really didn't materialize because maybe they were selling us their dreams when we were trying to build our own. And that's how I look at this new generation about stuff, because like we have a understanding of what we want to see in real life and how we want to see things go. And I'm just thankful that I can show you that I've done some of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I can show you some of the vision. You can see some of the vision around me and the stuff that I've done and kind of delivered. I just have a hard time understanding the vision when you can't explain it to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, but you got to think I understand when someone's explaining it to me, but I translate it into what works for me. And I'm saying that as in, my mom, she was a prison guard for I think 20 plus years or whatever. She didn't make a lot of money, but she made money to make sure that we was good. But I understand, like, just from seeing, like I said, sometimes she leads more so by example, and she'll tell you certain things, and I have to take it in and figure out what works for me. And that's, but the problem I've had, not with my mom, but just with giving the game to other people, sometimes it feels like they're not taking in what you're saying unless it depends on who it's coming from. But you're asking me to be able to help you. And that gets exhausting at times where you're asking for the game, but you're not willing to execute the game, even in your own way. Being comfortable and being complacent is a thing that, that
I see, that I'm actually visualizing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm seeing this. I'm like, yo, you asking me for stuff that you're not willing to go and get your hands dirty in for yourself, or like you wasting my and I think
it feels like you're wasting my time. You're asking me for things that you're not ready for.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go back to the Mary J. Blige. Because I think they was asking Mary for things that she wasn't ready to
she wasn't ready
to give, right?
Mary achieved, so I feel like Mary achieved success very early within her career that she didn't. I want to say that she was ungrateful, but she had already felt, hey, I'm doing this, so I didn't already answer these questions. I don't need to, like, it was almost like being a diva before being a diva, right? Like she was a diva very early within her career versus like you'll see like
when you're in the industry, and to be fair to her, when you're in the industry that take your words and try to, it's like the police, like they pull you over and they said that you didn't let them look in the car, or you was like, yo, I never said that. I just asked you if I had a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like when they take words and then like you know, and then you got to understand being where you're from and be like, yo, you're not here. Like you again, I look at you like you the ops because
Yeah,
you're not doing anything. I don't feel like you're doing anything to help me. You out here making me look terrible in Burger King commercials. Uh and
that
really
Burger King commercial was hilarious. I need to go back and watch it. That was funny as shit. Crispy
but
lettuce, crispy chicken. She
yeah,
knew she
she was
was
saying
her ass should
it.
not been singing about a motherfucking crispy chicken rap.
But
That
like
was some of the
her
funniest
growth
shit ever.
her growth as a person at the same time, like she's at a different level where she said, "Yo, I was jacked up, like, but y'all didn't really help me grow either. Like, it could have been some people in that business that was like, look, Mary, like, we trying to help you sell records, but if you only giving us this negativity to sell records, then that's what we roll with. You know what I'm saying?
So let me tell you this. So working at Universal, I was talking to one of the people. She had been there for like 20 plus years, and she said that in 96, they took Mary J. Blige. It's funny that they were talking, and I'm just not thinking about it. They took Mary J. Blige to a camp to be able to train her as far. So if you look at her transition from, was it because the first album came out in 94, then the second one was like 96.
No,
Yeah, because it was just
93, right?
oh no, her second album came out in 94.
Oh, yeah.
My Life. Yeah, I was thinking of My Life. But the first one came out 93 or 92, something like that. They took her to a camp to train her specifically. So if you look at the transition from the first two albums to Share My World, the third album,
yeah,
light years difference. And Mary had to learn that process because they was like, Mary can't, like, she wasn't really, well, the thing about Mary, and I really don't, she is who she is, but Mary came from a hip hop background. So she's a singer, but with hip hop energy, right? So she came from the "don't question me, I'm this," I'm like versus like I feel like you say Patti LaBelle or Whitney Houston or any of those people like that before, they were being interviewed, smiling, saying the same answers, blah blah blah, and then probably when they got off camera, it's like, oh fuck, I'm tired of being asked these questions. You know, I feel like Mary's just like, nah, nigga, I want to answer this shit right now. Like, why the fuck we like, you know? So I feel like that was kind of like the vibes with her versus like, but she had achieved that success early, and she was coming from a we don't give a fuck, you know, type of energy within hip hop, you know.
And then you think about the success that she did, and like, and just think of you, right? You've been in this game for 15, 20 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if somebody asks you a simple question like, hey, like in project planning, how would you set up a project? You look like, huh?
Yeah.
You asking me how to set up? Like,
but I go and answer. But I go in there. It annoys me, but in order to get the opportunity that I'm trying to get from this conversation, I explain it. But it comes to who's asking the question.
Yeah.
Like if somebody's asking me the question and I feel like I want to say they have any value, but I'm gonna answer the question differently in an interview. And this is why I said it depends on who you're talking to and who's receiving it. Like I'm gonna give the answer different in an interview versus I'm gonna give an answer for somebody that just wants to understand project management or product management. So
yeah, and to bring this thing back to the game is to be sold, not told. Like Jay-Z said, I'm trying to give you $1 million worth of game for $9.99. I think it's the vehicle that you're giving people, right? So if anybody is looking for a sponsorship opportunity, I have one right here around this mic that will only cost you $250. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's the game that can be sold. $250, we can get your logo right here on this mic.
Let's go. I'm with it.
And at least for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So you get all these spins and all this. But again, this is me understanding my value and understanding my worth. You know what I'm saying? So like I really want people to understand that we know that you're not gonna get this all at once. Sometimes it's just you hearing it and then being able to come back to it to where you've been like, oh shoot, this is what they was talking about. Now I can eat it up. You know what I'm saying? So like with your mom giving me the game up with the phone call and how to talk to people when calling and asking for
That's
somebody.
some bullshit.
Like that's game that I will never forget. You know what I'm saying? Like
bullshit.
she hung up on me
like
twice. I'm like,
nigga,
I
that's
know,
some bullshit.
but you know what?
Hello?
Life is about
Hello?
bullshit and bullshit. Life is about separating what's good, what's bullshit, and what's not acceptable.
Taking
you know
the
some
good
bullshit
is taking the good with the bad and understand what you could do with it. You know?
Yeah. So the bullshit of the minutia is that my first interview, I went with a lime green suit and an ugly shirt on under, thinking that I was sharp, and not knowing that interviews are not about being sharp; it's about being presentable. So,
bro, we had to learn. We had to learn trial by fire. Like we look. I remember being in your basement, and what was it? It might have been for GMI or catering. I remember we had to write a resume, and I didn't know what the hell. Like you had a printer. You had the dot matrix printer. Yeah, you had a dot matrix printer. My I know they had it. if I go back and look at, if I can find, I mean, there's no way I can find it because it's deteriorated or but I'm just saying in general, like we go back and look at from where we were at versus where we're at now. And I'm like, man, like I had to learn I mean, of course I look at other people, and that's the thing too. Look at what other people are doing. If that's something that you're trying to pursue, then try to not necessarily follow their lead, but when I look at somebody within, say, the Salesforce space or anything like that, I look at other people's resumes, or I look at other people, the things that they did, I take them right off of it because I've done that, but I just didn't think to say that. I don't care if somebody takes my resume and copies it verbatim, because the bottom line is if you can talk to the things that you're saying that you did based off of my resume or based off somebody else's experience, that's what gets you the opportunity. And I'm not just saying from a job perspective, but I'm saying, hey, look, copy my blueprint, copy Brian's blueprint, copy who's ever blueprint to be able to figure out what makes sense for you. Because if you see, hey, look, he's successful, blah, 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 you're taking the game. You say, hey, what were you doing over here within your resume, or what are you doing in your life in general? And if that can help you move forward, then that's fine. But my problem is that when you ask me the blueprint and it's like, are you trying to, because you get to the point of like, are you being nosy or are you trying to learn from my experience? Now, I want you to learn from my experience and be able to see what I've done and take that game and leverage it for yourself. But when the problem I've always had is if you're not, and this goes back to the weight thing, this goes back to life in general, like if you're not taking what I'm like the questions that you're asking me and you're not, and like I said, I can't tell people how to learn, but if I feel like you're quote unquote becoming an op, then of course I'm gonna go into defense mode and be like, well, why am I talking to you? This is a pointless conversation for me where I have to answer questions about something that I didn't even bring up. I was like, I'm just telling you a highlight of my life, is an accomplishment, something that I'm doing, something that I'm like proud of.
But it goes back to the Mary J. Blige thing. Mm-hmm. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. And I think you get annoyed when you feel like your time is wasted. And like you can't get time back. Right. So that I completely understand it. And 'cause I'm trying my best to harness, the zen that keeps me sane, because people will ask you questions and never do anything on it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when you start to waste my time, that's when I've learned to just say, hey, look, yeah, here's some books and stuff to read. Check out my GitHub. Like,
look,
like
look,
you
nigga,
know, I ain't
nigga,
got time for this right now. I got other stuff to do. I'm pushing forward, and I feel like this is holding me back. You know what I'm saying?
nigga, I had a friend. I mean, we still cool, but and he was like, man, I'm trying to get a job, and I was like, all right, cool. I mean, what you trying to do? And he was like, well, I'm trying to, transition out of the physical labor stuff, da da da. And I was like, okay, well, like what's stopping you from, like, nothing's stopping you from doing it. It's just how you decide to transition. I mean, of course, experience and people in positions that aren't willing to, but he was like, man, it's like, I can't stop smoking weed. I can't pass the test. And I was like, nah, I had to break it down. I was like, man, like I'm not a smoker or anything like that. I mean, I do drink from time to time, but if and this goes with health, this goes with jobs and stuff like that. But if the job says you can't smoke, but I can get this bag, I'm gonna stop smoking. If the job says I can't drink and you get this bag, nothing is going to deter me from getting my bag. Nothing's going to deter, because the thing is, money, it could be considered what's the word? It could be considered I can't think of the term or of a term to define it, but I can say money is a thing that gets you to the next step to be able to do the things that you want to do in life. But nothing's going to stop me from getting to that next step in life that I'm trying to achieve. So if there's anything that says, oh, well, you can't do this, I mean, I'm not necessarily even question it. I don't even care. Like, man, all of this stuff, I can't take weed with me. I can't take liquor with me. I can't take none of this stuff with me. You know what I'm saying? But I can make my life better while I'm here. And that's what money can help, like money, friendships, relationships, etc. Those are the things that can make your life better. So if it's something that's impeding that or stopping that from happening, then I'll cut that shit out. You say, hey, look, if you do this drug, you lose your job. I'm not gonna be like, let me try to figure out how I can do it so don't nobody notice. Like, nah, I ain't gotta do that shit. Like, let that shit go.
Well, see,
like,
but Sean, what you're talking about is discipline, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we all have different disciplines in life. And like, if you decide that you don't want to be disciplined in the nature, any one of these element of natures or whatever, then that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I don't understand it, Brian. Like, bro,
I don't understand it either. But it's on you. And if that's the way you want to roll, keep rolling that way. But then at the same time, don't attribute that to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, or basically, I feel like he contributed his lack of discipline to his to needing the weed. You know what I'm saying? You don't need it. You want it. But again,
you brought up a great point. Anything that you started, like, you introduced that to yourself. Like, these are things that you can remove. Like, if I don't have money to buy weed, money is what's gonna get you all of the things that you're trying to keep going. Da da da. I'm not.
And the other side of that, if you only make money to buy weed, then how do you do that to something else? You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen people pull off. I was like, you ain't got no car, you ain't had no job, but you can get weed. Like, dog, how are you not channeling that to something else? You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever that's flipping your switch to say, hey, I want it, I need it, I got it. Put that to whatever else you want in life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Listen, when I wasn't working or not working consistently, like, and one of the things I loved, like, I've always loved buying sneakers. Like, it comes, maybe it's just because of Jordan's influence of seeing a new pair every year and stuff like that, and just, I don't know, getting fresh or whatever. But like, I'm saying that to say that when I wasn't working or when I had less money, I wasn't buying sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Or that's it's a habit. It's a habit that I control. And I say that as in, oh, well, I like those. Well, shoot, I ain't got the money, or I got to pay my mortgage, or I got to do these things. I can't get them, you know? And like I said, maybe that's a, a thing that a lot of people don't hold in high regard, but shit, I mean, I do. And the habits that people have, I feel like habits can be as bad, eating habits. I don't have to go out to eat. I'll go out to eat from time to time, but I don't feel like I need to, like the woman that I was explaining before, I don't feel like I need to have a $300 date. I don't feel like I need to have a $150 date, honestly. I don't. Hell, we could talk about $75. Like it's just like
we can
these
talk about
things.
a free day. We can go bike ride.
We could go.
You know what I'm saying?
We could go walk, like, because the thing when them in them scenarios, like even within a dating scenario, I'm trying to talk to you. I'm trying to get to or build a relationship. Like I don't do it just to be like, well, let's try this new restaurant, and don't get me wrong, I like to try new places and stuff like that, but that's not like I would want to be with somebody that I don't want to just go to a place just to be like, I went to that place. I want to, I want to hear you. I don't want to talk over loud music and people swag surfing, because it's the hot brunch spot. like I want good food, and it is funny too. I like going to the same places. It's just weird with me with people that they feel like this is what justifies them as a person. It's like, nah, any of this stuff can go away.
Right.
You could be in a position like I can end up making less money than what I currently make. I can end up making more money and that's just what you're afforded to. So if I can make $500,000 a year, I'm gonna have more money. If I can make $35,000 or $40,000 a year, I gotta figure. I can't.
And see, the thing is, I know I can make more. Yeah? The thing is, I know I made companies millions of dollars. So like, I know that I got that value in me. So that's the one thing that I'll be like, look, I know I took this company from doing, like, we used to do basically 5,000 transactions a week.
Mm-hmm.
We was doing 1 million. We was doing 1 million a week we was doing 1 million a week when I left. And I say transactions because you don't know. Like, and that's the stuff that I built out. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, these are the changes that I made that made it easier for us to provision cloud stuff. So, yeah. But on that note, man, I know you got to take off running today through the mud and the stuff.
Yes, sir.
We're going to have to wrap this up. You got anything to tell the people?
Man, listen. Do what makes sense for you, but take the knowledge that other people have to provide and do what you want with it, because people have been in your situation or have dealt with things at the same level, even if it's not the same situation. But we've all been in these situations where we're trying to figure it out. It's not easy. You have somebody to go to, or try to find someone that you can go to that can provide you any game, because we got to get to the point now where I gotta start getting paid for it. Because if I'm offering this advice and no one is taking it, but then you come find out that you're taking it from somebody else that's getting paid to give it to you, then it's like, well, shoot, what am I here for? But I'll always be the vessel. I'll always be the person that's willing to listen to your scenario, listen to your situation, and try to help you maneuver through it. What about you?
That's one thing that I'm gonna tell you that I will not be there to listen to you. I am learning that don't waste my time. Like I just had a colleague that I went to school with pass away. Eddie was telling me that he passed away. Smart dude. He was actually younger than me. He went to school out in Chicago. He was like I met him at GMI. Like when I say smart dude, he had like 4 degrees. And he passed away, and I felt some type of way, even though it's not me. I just felt like, look, I can't be wasting my time, wasting my life trying to help people that don't want to help themselves. Because
Mhm.
you can put it off. You can put off everything you want to do to later, but what if later never gets here? So don't waste your time. Don't waste people. Don't waste people time, and live your life to your fullest because you never know when it's gonna be over. So I'm gonna take what Shantae said, and I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna get disciplined about. I've been working out heavy this week.
Mhm.
I don't know how many pounds I lost because I ain't been on the scale in my room. That one, the battery's dead. But
Man, weigh yourself every day. A lot of people don't. There's a lot of people like, well, the scale. And I was like, listen, well, like I said, make it work for you. But one thing I learned whenever I weigh myself, I'm like, oh, I'm up or I'm down because the scale is not lying.
yeah, it just tells you. I mean, it's
a lot
data
of people
that
be afraid because like, oh, I ate da da da. I ate da da. It's like, no, listen, it really makes you start to pay attention to what you're doing because you're like, well, shoot. Because a lot of people be like, oh, I don't want to count calories and da da da. When I started counting calories, I'm like, oh, I remember one time, bro, I rolled up to McDonald's and I haven't literally had McDonald's since. I rolled up to McDonald's and I was like, and my whole little combination was, I was like, I get a breakfast burrito. No, I get a breakfast burrito and I get an egg McMuffin. Or I get an egg McMuffin and bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. That's like always my little thing for the morning. So I rolled up. I was like, damn, that's 700 calories, and I haven't even done anything yet. Like I'm just starting out the morning. Don't get me wrong. I mean, all calories aren't bad calories, but I'm just saying like when I started, and I'm glad that I don't know if you ever pay attention to this, but even the whole calorie count thing, right? That wasn't a thing in America until last 15 years.
Yeah,
like
maybe 15. Yeah, well,
yeah, like they didn't used to have the calorie count on, and now they're required to do it. So but I rolled up to the McDonald's and I was like, damn, that's 700 calories already. And I just left. Like I didn't get in nothing. I was like, damn.
To burn 500 calories yesterday, I ran for I played basketball for 2 hours. Like that's what I watched that. So like that just puts it in perspective. 2 hours to eat.
Yeah, 2 hours to eat a breakfast burrito and an egg McMuffin. I was like, and that's kind of where I started, But I would say the weight thing or the scale is very important because people are like, oh well, this is one narrative I never cared for. It's like, and I get it, but it's like, oh, I'm just trying to tone. I'm not trying to lose this and blah blah blah. I'm like, no. You're gonna lose. Like I always explain it. I was like, remember back in the day, Ludacris had a verse. He was like, the new phenomenon, like white chicks with asses. Yeah. And I was like, y'all let them creep in and do all of the workouts and build the ass from they squats and doing all of this stuff. And you over here trying not to lose the extra ass that you have. And it's like, well, no, like, do the things, build a nice firm one, you know what I'm saying? Where it's not like all over the place,
ain't ready for that. Ain't ready for that knowledge. See, and that's the thing. You got to meet people where they at. And like, are you? Yeah.
Luda said that 20 years ago. Yeah. Said it's the new phenomenon, like white chicks with asses. And it's like, well, no, and it's like, well, I don't even want to tone. I don't even want to. I don't want to lose this. I don't want to lose this. It's like, well, no. The whole point of if you're trying to, cut, like, bro, I done cut so much weight, and I still and I'm more from the health perspective. I done lost a lot of weight. And I still have love handles and stuff like that, or I still got some stomach just because, nigga, we owe. So you got to get to the point of understanding that, no, you're not going to, I can't think of no models no more, but you're not going to look like this 22-year-old model. Just understand that you're doing it. Look, you're doing this for your health. You're not doing this of course you want to lose around those areas, but you're not going to lose around those areas if you're not doing no cardio. You ain't gonna lose in them areas if you just doing Pilates and yoga. It's like, no, you got to get out there and do some stuff for the upper and lower body, not just walking. Like I got a competition. I know we about to drop, but I have a competition, and it was crazy. This is a dude. Like I have a weight loss competition going on right now, and like I said, everybody do 3 workouts. You do one group. These are things that you get points for. Like you do 3 workouts, you get, I think it was 5 points for each workout. You do one group workout, and I think you get 7 points. And then you get in one healthy meal, you get 10 points. So I think the number works out to 32 or 37, something like that. Man, this dude posted his step count. I was like, nigga, I don't care about your steps, nigga. Like, steps has nothing to do with actually working out. Steps are throughout the day. Steps
that's just physical activity. Yeah, that's just physical activity. It's not a workout. It's physical activity.
Bro, it's not even. It's just what you did for the day. Like I had more steps than him just at work. Walking to this meeting, walking to go to my car to go to lunch, walking to like I'm just saying like steps don't. Like you said, it just tracks your physical activity. It doesn't track like an actual workout. I was like, a workout is the time that you put into it, what you burn from it. It's stuff like that versus like, nigga, I don't care that you did 3,300 steps. And that's a low amount. Nigga, that's 3,300 steps for the day.
3,300? Yeah, I get that around the house. And like, I get 3,300. I thought he posted like 10, 12.
Nah, nigga. This nigga posted 30, like even like if the numbers was higher, I'd be like, okay, cool, that makes sense. But nigga, like, no, and we ain't about to be like sitting up here talking about I did a workout and I did 3,300 steps for the day. Like, what the fuck you mean? Like, nigga, you get no points for that workout, nigga. Like, that ain't no workout.
And there's so many things that you can do for a workout that for cardio. Like they got these stepping class. You can do a dance class for cardio. Like, there's so many things that you can do for cardio. So.
Nigga, you could go walk for 30 minutes. That's a workout. Like I'm not too strict on like a workout in my opinion is setting up some time to do something for a period of time, and this is what you burn, and this is what you did during that. Like
so you elevated heart rate because that's what you elevate
just
your heart rate for 10, 15 minutes, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, we got a requirement of at least 30 minutes. But
no, but I'm saying like I don't feel like it's a workout if you only elevate your heart rate for 10 minutes. Like, because that's
if you walk to the mailbox, nigga, like that is not a workout. And don't like I get
you walk really fast. Is that a workout?
Right, nigga. I get a Apple notification because you got the little fitness thing. I get an Apple notification of somebody walking 0.1 miles. I'm like, nigga, like what you did? Like you walked outside to your mailbox as far or whatever, or you walked from upstairs to downstairs. Like nigga,
my mailbox is to walk away from my crib. Like,
my shit is a nice little distance down there.
No, I'm talking 1,800 feet.
I ain't that far.
Mine's 1,800 steps. Because I know I can get 3,600 by just walking to my mailbox and coming back.
But that's a work. Like if you track that, it'd probably take you like 15, 20 minutes.
Nah, it's about it's about a good 8 to minute walk
for 1,800 steps.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, but I'm saying back and forth. So yeah, like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, like 16.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's
and it's a hill.
Yeah, that could be considered. Incline. Or shit, you can make.
I don't call that my workout. You know what I'm saying? Like I can be like, yo, I go out here and be like,
man, I was like, nigga, like. And I hate to sometimes I
got a homeboy who won't weigh himself because he's like, oh, that don't really matter. I'm like, no, it's about accountability to yourself and it's a measuring point. I like they be like, oh, well, scales ain't this, and like I do my blood pressure at least twice a day, right? Because I need to have these data points so I can say when I go to the doctor, hey, on this day I did this, I had this much physical activity, I did this, I ate this, I slept like this, right? Because it's my data that I don't want them guessing on some stuff that they have, like I had a bad meal, so like my stomach fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to show some real data so you can see a pattern of like, yo, this is when the shit is high, this is when the shit. I can see a pattern. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, like I give you a prime example. Nigga, I weighed myself when I told you I lost like the 6 pounds. I weighed myself and then I had a drink, and I only had like the drink. I drink my drink straight, and I went up 4 pounds.
Nigga, that's what I'm telling you. I've done
I had
12 pounds in a
one
day.
drink, ate the same shit. My shit went up. I was like, you know what? I'm just not drinking. I was like, I ain't gonna drink because I was able to get back to where I was at. But I was like, I ain't about to have this drink because we doing it based off of percentages and stuff like that. So I'm like, I need to have the highest percentage, you know what I'm saying, than anybody, because we can get an extra point for the percentage. Whoever has the highest percentage per week.
Man, side note. So you don't hooping them J's that you got on right now? Them nice comfortable J's, you don't hooping them?
No, I ain't hooping in 11s. No, I hoop in LeBron's. I hoop in Kyrie's.
Those are all low tops. I mean, well, the Kyrie's are low tops. The LeBron's got mids, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, but no, I'm not hooping in 11s, bro. That's asking for it.
They hooping shoes, no.
Nah, but it's different times. It's different. Like you can't. Of course, they've added technology to it, but if watching the NBA, bro, like you'll never see nobody hooping in some J's. You might. I mean, well, Tatum has his own. Luka got his own. But you're never going to see somebody hooping like outside of what's Tucker. But he just hooping stuff because he's a sneakerhead. But outside of that, nah, nigga, they either hooping in Kobe's, KD's, some in Bron's. Harden has his own.
Edwards got his own Adidas.
AE got his own. I haven't hooped in his yet, but that shit was comfortable as hell. I got like 4 pair.
You got 4 pair of the Anthony Edwards?
Mm-hmm. I like that dude, man. That dude is.
I like John. Well, we getting into another conversation.
Ja be on some extra shit. You know, Ja doesn't care about his image. I got Ja's too, you know, but Ja don't care about his image enough. And it's crazy, like if you look at that transition, just peep it out, right? And we dropping a little bit, but look at his transition. You look at Ja. When Kyrie was going through all of that stuff, Ja came into Nike, and he replaced what Kyrie was given to the brand. So like Kyrie was they like because honestly at that point in time Nike kind of fucked up with Steph. Like Steph ended up doing the Under Armour thing, and Steph got a major bag. And Steph has had a lucky ass career where I want to say lucky. He's had a very opportunistic career where he was able to pivot from all of the ankle injuries that he was doing and be able to move forward with his own brand, and then being able to get 300 or 4. I can't remember the bag that he got, but he ended up getting his own
$350 million deal.
Yeah, so it's just like
they're trying to get Durant to sign with them too.
I would look, if I was Durant, I did it, but I mean Durant has a lifetime deal now with Nike, so it wasn't like a bad thing, but Durant is on like KD 18 at this point in time, but
that bum ass nigga.
Yeah, but his shoes wasn't translating. We're getting past the idea that, and this, I think we should say this for the other pod, but this is where you look at people that have had shoes for lesser amount of time that has had more of an impact to what I look up to, and I'm saying that like from Bo Jackson to Penny Hardaway to, like all of these players within their short period of time within their career has had it, like they're still moving shoes like that, and you got Jordans, Jordan's on Jordan 40 right now. But nobody's really buying his Jordans outside of like, the first.
But my love was for the CB4s and the
Barkley. Shit, yeah.
CB4s, and then like I still like the Forces that the
David Robinson. Like we literally was looking up to these players as like I looked up David Robinson because he was a lefty. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was just dope to me. Hell, you had Magic Johnson,
the Chris Webbers,
Did I ever tell you a story about that? Like, so Chris Webber, I don't know if you remember this, but Chris Webber only got one shoe with Nike.
Yeah.
And they were saying that when he was up for renewal, he wanted more money than Jordan. Like I said, I can't, but allegedly, but so essentially they didn't give him the money. So that's where he ended up going to Fila. And then he went to, what's Dada, back then. You remember the Dadas?
Oh, yeah. The Dadas.
Yeah. The Dadas, the Spree Wills and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, he ended up pivoting to them because they went off in the bag. But I get getting the bag. But sometimes from the visual standpoint, like Nike made Jordan. That's why Jordan still sells Jordans to this day. You know, like Jordan was a phenomenon and they just elevated that through their marketing of him. Hell, Jordans sell more in Nike basketball than any other shoe. But that's just from a street version. You know, we was talking about, street versions, how you wear it off and on the court and stuff like that. Like nobody's like,
I'm about to go hooping my fives right now, man.
Shit, nigga, your feet gonna be hurting like a motherfucker, nigga. That shit gonna be on your motherfucking pinky toe. Nigga, that 5 is a motherfucker. Like that is one shoe. I will not hoop in the 5s. I will not hoop in the 6s. Like that 6, I have to wear high socks because the 6 got that plastic
got that
on the
little
back.
thing, got the back.
Yeah,
got the little.
That shit used to be tagging my ass, like nigga, and I'm sitting up here like, but I look good, you know. It's like nah, nigga.
Oh no, I still feel good like when I played 8th grade with my 5s. Yeah. 4.
I mean, but that was the technology for the time. You got to think that was the beautiful part about Nike is that Nike was taking risks. Like I remember people back in the day saying Jordans was ugly. You know what I'm saying? So now we see stuff and we might be like, I ain't wearing no Hardens or like I wear, like I said, I got a few pair of AEs, but
like when we think about like you always have shoes that was just streetwear, right? I remember the K-Swish, British Knights, like those are all like you never wore those on the court for real, like.
But most niggas was wearing Jordan. Like it was Jordans, Dave Robinsons, like hell, Converse.
We had more basketball. It felt like we had more basketball shoes, and like the prices, they ain't even leather. Like the Shea, I like how Shea shoes is all leather, but
you talking about the suede ones or the new? Because he got the suede ones that's been releasing all the way up until now. Then he just pivoted to the just strict. It's suede leather. Yeah. But he just pivoted to the all leather ones. Just recently. But
and I ain't bought no Converse since the Larry Johnsons.
Yeah, I was about to say the LJs. Like I'm trying to think the last Converse. Yeah, that was it. And nigga, that was 93. Nigga,
yeah.
that was a nice.
I bought some, and I was like, oh, it was a sale or something on them, and I was like,
no, I bought the Aeroglides. I look, that was one. It was in the Grandmama commercial. Like that was literally one of my favorite, like one of my favorite shoes or whatever. I remember cutting off the little plastic thing on the top of the shoe just to be different and shit. But no, I like that was probably the last. I got Chucks and stuff like that, but and this is why I was going with it. I was like, you look at Jordans when it was back then. Nobody else had any shoes that was, of course, Jordan was mass because you had the whole air technology and stuff like that within Nike. Nobody was really pushing that. Like you just had like fucking big ass Ewings and stuff like that. So so niggas. I love Ewings, but like that shit was. I'm saying like, but it was about Jordan. So them marketing Jordan, and then like Nick, like the Dope Boys had Jordans, it was like, oh well, Jordans was kind of like you got some, I don't know, some infrared 6s with niggas weren't really matching. Niggas couldn't match that hot ass pink color, but niggas had them though, like, but and the 6s is always, it sticks with me the most because I didn't have the 5. You and Idris had the 5s, but the 6s was my first Jordan that I got. So when I got the 6, like hell, I was taking that boy back and forth to return to Foot Locker. Shit, nigga, I had every damn color. I had the white and September blue ones. I had the black infrared. No, I had the white infrared ones. I had the carmines or the white, red, and black ones. The white with the red suede on them.
The one thing that I found out like about the 5s is that the Air Jordan is upside down on the tag.
Yeah.
On the inside tag. It's upside down on purpose. Like I was like, I don't remember it being like that, but the real ones, it's upside down.
Yeah,
like it reads upside down. Like
I can't remember. It's the reason why. I can't remember the logic behind it. It's a reasoning why it was that way.
Let me get out of here, man, and get to this workout and get to the rest of this.
Yes, sir. I'm about
to go
some stuff get buddy outside or whatever for some apparent reason. So, but thank you all for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. We got a slew of topics, so we definitely didn't hit all of them, but I do like the fact that we was able to get into the game as sold and not be told, because I really feel like that's an important thing to Brian said he's not going to provide any information, but I'm pretty sure he's welcoming to the people that want to receive, and I'm the same way. So
$12.99. Sponsor my microphone. We talk.
Yeah, we need the money. Peace.